Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Hello everyone, welcome to Primetime Local News. We have a very exciting show for you. We are on location at the Civic Center for tonight's big Bobcats game. Last time they played, they won, so hopefully they can do it at home again.
Yeah.
We are talking movies here as our question of the day. We want to know, do you prefer to stream or go to the theater? I personally would prefer to watch it at home.
Okay, yeah.
How about you?
It depends. If it's a big movie that I really want to see, then I'll go to the theater. It's more exciting and it's worth going, but for the most part, I just watch at home, I think. Yeah.
The only time I go to the theater is when I really want popcorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. We'll get into that conversation. We do have a poll up on our Facebook page, so weigh in there. But first, let's go check in with our Brett Holden, who's down at the Civic Center.
Well, the ice is currently getting cleaned off here, where tonight at 7:30, your Lloydminster Bobcats will go up against the Camrose Kodiaks. A special night here for head coach Nigel Dubé, as it's his former team that will be coming into the Trip C tonight. As I mentioned, puck drop will be at 7:30. We'll be talking to some of the players heading into tonight's game. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the Civic Center, but first let's head back into the studio where Elise has a look at your local news.
And now we're going to go to Brett Holden, who is live at the Civic Center tonight.
Joined now by head coach Nigel Dubé here at the Trip C. Now, Nigel, let's talk a little bit about your familiarity with the Camrose Kodiaks.
Just coaching there last year and to start this year, obviously know their personnel and you know, going back to 11, 12 years ago, I played there too. So a lot of familiarity with the club, but now being with the Bobcats, it's about business for us tonight.
So heading into tonight, putting everything kind of aside, what's kind of the message going on in the locker room for you and your team, and just some things to remember for tonight?
Well, I think a big thing for us is we played a real heavy team game on Friday against Fort McMurray, and now it's a way for us to find a way to you know, come again tonight and do the exact same thing, and that's a challenge to our group, and I look forward to seeing what they can do here.
Now, there's a 6th place team coming into the barn tonight. You guys don't know too much about them. Last time you played them, November 4th, but what do you know about them? What's kind of some things that you can, you really want to, you know, exaggerate on the ice tonight?
Well, I think they got a really high talented top end line. Know them really well again from being there. So we got to take care of them, and then for us, it's putting a lot of pucks towards the net and going to the net. When we move pucks north and we play a fast-paced game, we're tough to keep up to as well.
Perfect. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the Centennial Civic Center. Now, guys, it's cold in here, but it's even colder outside. Let's head to Michaela, who has a little bit more on your weather.
Thank you so much, Brett. Yes, we are in for a cold evening and an even colder start to our Thursday morning. We are sitting at minus 23 out there, feeling like minus 32 degrees out there. It's going to be very cold over the next couple of hours here as we get deep into that wind chill, and that is going to come into effect almost minus 40 in some areas. As we look to our satellite radar, a couple patches of precipitation. We have a 60% chance we could see some flurry activity tomorrow evening, and that's going to come into effect for Saskatchewan as well. Areas like North Battleford going to be affected by this as well. No watches and warnings currently in effect for our area. There are some extreme cold warnings, but nothing affecting our broadcast area at this time. As we look to the numbers, much cooler than we were sitting yesterday. Minus 15 right now in Edmonton, also in Red Deer. That's the same number in Rocky Mountain House. Minus 12 in Edson, minus 10 for Jasper, minus 15 in Whitecourt, minus 18 up in Athabasca. And then as we move out east, minus 22 in Melfort and Prince Albert, and that's the same number in Saskatoon. As we look now to North Battleford, sitting at minus 21 overnight. Clouds are going to start to build up tomorrow. High of minus 12, 60% chance of some flurry activity. Now with the wind chill overnight and into the morning, going to feel like minus 39 when we start off tomorrow. So it's going to be very cold, and frostbite is imminent this evening and tomorrow morning. So do bundle up. Cold Lake, minus 29 overnight, going to feel like minus 36 in the morning and minus 39 overnight with a high of minus 12 tomorrow. Sunny start to the day in all of these regions, with clouds starting to pick up throughout the afternoon and then bringing some flurries with it. So here in the border city, minus 26 tonight, going to feel like minus 36, minus 33 in the morning, a high of minus 9 tomorrow, but we are expecting some snow starting in the afternoon. There is 60% chance. Minus 3 on Friday, so warming up to the single digits, minus 15 for the low, and then up to the positive numbers on Saturday. I'll have more details for you in just a little bit.
Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Welcome back. The Environmental Science program at Lakeland College is preparing for the first annual conference on environmental management. Abby St. John went to the campus to get a preview of what to expect.
A huge part of the Environmental Sciences program is during the students' final year. The students go on an 8-month practicum, then design a presentation based on their field of study. In past years, the presentations took place over the course of a few days. However, changes were made to make sure everyone gets the chance to present in one day.
For the conference, we would have all the capstone presentations presented together, but also invite plenary speakers that are experts in the field to help draw, more attention to not only the students, but the actual program, the environmental sciences at Lakeland.
The conference will be divided into 6 sessions, 3 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. In between, there will be keynote speakers and sessions for students to attend presented by Alberta Institute of Agrologists.
We have a number of presentations associated with reclamation initiatives. We have wildlife management, for example, and another theme is water management. We also have soils management and then vegetation management.
Something they were able to put together this year is 2 awards for the top presentations at the conference.
What we've done is we've created panel members, so each session has 2 external examiners and then 1 internal from the college, and they will evaluate all the presentations, and at the end of the day, the panel members will convene, and then the top awards will be announced at the end of the day. So we're super excited for that, and it's great that industry has come on board to be able to participate in this as well.
The conference will be taking place February 26th at the Regional Center in Vermilion. Abby St. John, Primetime Local News.
The Lloydminster and District Fish and Game Association is getting ready for its annual awards banquet this Saturday. The banquet presents awards for largest animal like moose and elk, and also for largest fish. Dwayne Davidson, the president for Lloydminster Fish and Game, says this event is also a big night for donations.
Right, yeah, of course. So we donate to both Alberta and Saskatchewan, Sask Wildlife Federation, Alberta Fish and Game, and they actually buy properties with these donations of cash, and they set it up for habitat and goes on forever.
One of the main attractions of the event is the meal, which features some food that most people don't usually eat.
Yeah, I would say it's different for most meals you'd have. We've got elk, moose, and we're going to have some bear this year, and we've got some antelope.
Saskatchewan Roughriders offensive lineman Brendan Labatt will also be at the banquet, which takes place at the Stockade Convention Center. And kindergarten is the first step when it comes to your education, and students at St. Joseph Elementary School have a few new ways of learning. Our Brett Holden has more in this week's Beyond the Classroom.
When many think of kindergarten, they may think of nap time and snack time, but here at St. Joseph Elementary, that is quite the contrary.
So we have a big focus on social emotional growth in kindergarten, kind of the whole child, focusing on all those different aspects to kind of help the learners giving them exposure to different things that maybe they don't have before they come to school.
For students at St. Joseph, learning the ABCs have a new twist on them as well.
We don't do a lot of pencil and paper work, we did see a little bit of that today, but a lot of it's done through play-based learning, so play-based centers. So where we use different tools, for instance in math we'll use dice, but when we use dice we are using them to practice counting, subitizing, which is recognizing numbers instantly.
And with technology all around us, teachers at St. Joseph use it as a form of learning.
So technology in this day and age is everywhere. You can't really leave your house or even wake up in your room without seeing technology, right? So we teach them that technology is a tool, and we really use it to learn all of our math targets, our alphabet. There's a lot of amazing apps and uses on the smartboard.
LCSD has also introduced a few new programs as well.
The Kindergarten Plus is the 60% kindergarten, like I said. So they're 50% with their teacher, covering their curriculum, and the other 10% is with myself, the Kindergarten Plus teacher, and I help to supplement those literacy and math skills. So K Plus is, we give their students the gift of extra time.
For this week's Beyond the Classroom, I'm Brett Holden.
Beyond the Classroom is brought to you by Lakeland College. Apply to the hairstyling program and take the lead working with clients in the on-campus salon. Lakeland College, leading learning since 1913.
And now we're going to take a look at your stock market prices for today.
We restore more than just property. We restore hope. When disaster strikes, call the one that can make it right. First General Services, your property restoration experts.
Welcome back. Here's another case where prevention is way better than the cure. With expectant cows, Gerard Lampo tells us about a deadly disease that ranchers are always on the lookout for.
Scours is neonatal diarrhea. I mean, it's most commonly around here would be in our calves in the area. That's when they're most prone in the first month of life.
Some producers have already started calving season, but for many others, calving will be in the spring. Preventing an illness like scours in calves requires planning ahead.
There's different vaccines that we use in the cow herd, in the heifers that are pregnant, the cows that are pregnant. We're trying to boost the antibodies as high as we can in them, so when that calf is born and they're nursing, they're taking all those antibodies in. But it's important that everybody knows that those calves can really only absorb those antibodies for the first 8 to 10 hours of life. After that, it's too late.
The area of the calf's stomach that receives colostrum is only open in the first few hours of life.
It is imperative to get in good quality and enough colostrum from that heifer or that cow, which may mean, if we're unsure, it may mean using some of the packaged colostrum products to make sure that these calves are getting enough.
So a 40-kilogram calf should get about 2 liters of colostrum in the first 6 hours of life to prevent scours. Failing that, the barn could become a hospital ward very quickly.
We just got to keep as clean a calf bedding as we can. Where we were calving them out, we want to get them spread out as far as we can because crowding is a problem. If we start getting scours, and it can be caused by a number of things, viruses, bacteria, parasites, and there's lots of them that can cause different scours.
Calves with diarrhea will need to be isolated as scours is contagious and can be transmitted to humans.
So we have to be careful when we are treating them because we can get sick from some of those diseases that are causing the neonatal diarrhea in calves as well. We need to contact our veterinarians, talk about treatment, what is working. It is dehydration that is really making these calves sick. If they're down and they're losing all that fluid from diarrhea and they're not nursing, they dehydrate very quickly.
Farmers will start with oral fluids and electrolytes, plus disinfecting the sick bay, and if that doesn't work, then the Lloydminster Hospital is the next port of call. The stress, the cost, and the hours involved in treatment adds up if there are hundreds of calves infected. It's important to change the bedding and keep it dry, and then the weather is always unpredictable.
If there is crowded, dirty calf bedding where they're being born, any of that from our weather changes, that can cause a problem. Definitely with our country, you never know day to day, week to week, what's going to happen. So weather changes can definitely cause the stress on calves and make them much more prone to having scours.
Gerard Lampow, Primetime Local News.
That's your egg news. Sports is next, but first we'll take a look at your egg prices.
Every member of the City Centre Auto Body team has been through extensive training. We're constantly upgrading our team's education to reflect current collision repair technique.
Taking a look at local sports right now, this season, the Wrestlers men volleyball team repeatedly undepended expectations, and in one of the biggest surprises of their assistant coach. Josh Ryan has more on how off-court friendships have helped with on-court successes.
Ty Plandowski is passionate about coaching. However, running volleyball practices was never on his horizon entering another school year at Lakeland College with his friends on the men's team.
Come to open tryouts, just have a little gag about it. So that's what I ended up doing, and then Tay came up to me after and approached me with either a helping role because he needed numbers out there, or an assistant coach job, so I decided to take that.
A baseball player at heart, Plandowski has embraced the opportunity working with head coach Taylor Dyer.
Seeing how he runs practices, how you're supposed to work on individual skill and not just do the same team stuff for 2 hours of a practice, and break it down individually and really better each player day by day, it really will make a huge difference.
Having a full-time assistant has been just as valuable to Dyer, particularly with the enthusiasm that Plandowski brings.
He's super keen on learning and kind of getting a better feel for what it's going to be like in the coaching ranks, and I can give him any task and he's willing and able, and just the fact that he's always around and able to help out with whatever I need just makes my job easier.
Making the arrangement even more enjoyable is already being a member of the friend circle.
I get to see my friends all the time. I get to see them in class, and then I come to the gym and hang out with them, and then I go over to their place and play some Fortnite, so that's pretty fun.
It's been good. He really enjoys it, and we really enjoy having him around, so it's been pretty fun, yeah.
He's uniquely positioned to help communicate things outside of practice.
It's easy to talk to him about kind of volleyball-related stuff just because he was our friend before he was our coach. As a friend, as a mentor, he can really be honest with all of us and tell us when we're doing things wrong and it not be too personal, which is nice. It's nice to have that personal connection with a coach.
Plandowski is looking forward to the stretch run for the team and continuing to learn from the experience.
What I want to add is probably helping guys out on the court more, giving them more feedback. But what the guys want me to add is probably to hit better down balls. So we'll see how that works.
Josh Ryan, Primetime Local Sports.
And now we're going to go to Brett Holden, who is live at the Civic Center tonight.
Joined now by Chance Adrian here at the Centennial Civic Center. Now, Chance, last time you guys played the Camrose Kodiaks, you had a goal on November 4th. What do you guys know about this team, and how do you go out here, and what's kind of the game plan here?
Well, we know they're very aggressive. They like to push the pace a lot, and Nigel was the coach there before, so he knows a lot of the systems and whatnot. So it was just going over little things like face-offs and penalty kills and power plays. But for the most part, we know if we play our game, we could be able to compete with anyone.
What's your focus tonight for you personally?
Myself personally, just do what I always do, lead by example, be a vocal leader on the bench, be positive, just do what it takes to win, whether it's blocking a shot or getting a big goal.
Now, we were talking a little bit off camera here, just a little bit about your time in the WHL last year with Prince George. Let's talk about just what you learned from there, some of the stuff you're bringing in as an assistant captain for the Bobcats as well.
I think the biggest thing there is just how they take every game professionally, and what it takes to treat your body right and what you're putting in your body. And I think the biggest thing I'm just trying to take back is the preparation that goes into every game, and that's what I'm trying to bring back to the guys, to make sure that we prepare and take our bodies seriously.
Perfect. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the Trip C, where tonight the Lloydminster Bobcats go up against the Camrose Kodiaks. First, we'll head back into the studio where Michaela has a look at your weather.
All right, thank you so much, Brett. Starting it off with this weather shot, some dogs enjoying the cold weather out there at the dog park. Thank you so much, Phil, for sending that in. As we look to the numbers across the map, we are cold, and we are going to feel even colder overnight with that wind chill. Some areas reaching almost -40 with that wind, so bundle up because frostbite is imminent this evening within only a couple of minutes. We're sitting at -23, feels more like -32 out there. -19 in Vermilion, -22 -22 in Marwin, also in St. Paul. Bonnyville sitting at -20, -20 in Cold Lake. Now these areas going to reach -39 with that wind chill. So very, very cold, -36 in the morning time. So bundle up. It is going to be a very cold start. -19 in Lac La Biche right now. Sitting at -21 in Maidstone, also in North Battleford. Areas here are also going to feel into those -30s with that wind chill. Not quite as cold as -39, but that -35 mark there. So very cold. -22 up in St. Walburg and same in Meadow Lake. As we look further up north, sitting very cold, almost to that -30 range in some areas. So -25 in La Ronge, also in La Loche and Buffalo Narrows. -33 up in Uranium City. Fort Chipewyan, coldest place in Alberta yet again. They've been having that honor for a few weeks now, unfortunately. -30 there right now, -24 in Fort McMurray, and -16 rather in Grand Prairie. As we look down south, they've been in the single digits for most of the month, but they're sitting cooler now, sitting at -12 right now in Lethbridge, -13 in Calgary, -9 in Banff, and then as we move over east, -17 right now in Swift Current, -19 in Kindersley, with the Queen City sitting at -17. Now tomorrow we are expecting some snow, 60% chance. We are going to see that into the evening hours, or starting in the afternoon rather. -9 is our daytime high, -10 for Maidstone, -12 in North Battleford tomorrow. Also a 60% chance of some snow activity there. We're going to start off sunny, and then the clouds are going to start to pick up for more of a cloudy afternoon. Cold Lake reaching -12 and -9 tomorrow for Lac La Biche. For the kids off to school tomorrow, going to be a cold start, feeling like -36 here in the border city, warming up to -11 when the kids head home. 60% chance we'll see those flurries start in the afternoon. -3 on Friday, with us reaching the positive numbers on Saturday. 3 degrees there. 25% chance we could see some freezing rain because we are above the freezing mark, and because we are under it over the overnight, causing some freezing rain potentially there. Sunday we could see 78% chance of some snow activity, a high of 2 degrees, and then we get back into those cooler seasonal numbers as of Monday.
And now we're going to go to Brett Holden, who is live from the Civic Center tonight.
Rylan Nevon joins me now. And now, Rylan, let's talk a little bit about this season so far for you. 19 points so far for you this season, 10 points last year for you. So let's talk about just a little bit of your production so far this year as opposed to last year.
Yeah, for sure. You know, just an extra year of experience for me, you know, knowing the league. Just the guys I'm playing with this year, I've been enjoying it so far.
So let's talk about Camrose as well here. What do you know about them, and what are your kind of plans to attack them tonight?
Well, our coach, Nigel Dubé, started the year with them last year, so he's done a great job with preparing us. You know, they have a few plays that they like to run that he's prepared us for, so looking forward to it.
Now, we spoke a little bit about, just off camera here, a little bit about some other places you spent time with. Let's talk about your other seasons before Lloydminster.
Yeah, so I came to Lloyd straight from midget AAA, played there with the Blazers, 3 good years there. I think it's prepared me a lot for junior hockey, and I'm enjoying it here.
Perfect, and just really quickly, let's talk about a quick expectation for you tonight.
Just gonna go out there, work hard, you know, hopefully get the win tonight.
Perfect, we hope so too. We'll have a little bit more coming up from here at the Trip C, but let's head back into the studio where Michaela and Elise are talking about your question of the day.
All right, thank you so much, Brett. Today we are talking movies as our question of the day. Do you prefer to watch them in the theater, or would you prefer to stream them? I personally would just like to stay at home. That way you don't have to wear pants. We did put up a poll. 79% of you say stream, 21% saying theater. I feel like streaming is almost the new movie renting.
Yeah, I think it definitely is. And I think I only go to the theater if it's something that's a really big movie that I want to see, that's like really exciting. But other than that, I'll just watch at home.
Yeah, I only go if I really, really want that movie theater popcorn. Because you can't make that at home.
That's true.
That's true, yeah.
That is true.
Okay, well, let us know. We have the poll up on our Facebook page so you can weigh in. But now we're going to turn to our pets of the day. Let's see who we have today. This is Ruby. Oh, that's a really cute one.
Yeah.
Thanks for sending that in, Loranda. That's a really cute one. This is Misty. Duffy. Look at her little pose there. That was sent to us by Taylor. Next up, we have Iggy. Oh, that's a cute little picture. Look at her little pink tongue. That was sent to us by Peyton. Next up, we have Duffy, the little sleepy kitty there. That's very cute. That was sent to us by Marie. And then last but certainly not least, look at this little fluff ball.
Goodness.
Charlie.
Charlie.
Oh, come on, Cheyenne. You're
What
killing
a
us with
sweet
this.
face.
Very cute. Thanks for sending these in. If you saw your pet here on Primetime Local News, you'll be entered to win a $50 gift card to the Lloydminster Pet Pad, which we draw for on Fridays.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram to have them featured on Pet of the Day. Your name will be entered into a weekly draw for a gift certificate from the Pet Pad.
Joined now by Lloydminster Bobcats head coach Nigel Dubé, who just signed a brand new 5-year extension. Let's talk about the deal and kind of just getting the specifics done.
Well, the big part with it was when they hired me to make change here, and change had to be happen, and moving forward in the direction that we wanted to go. And I was very evident on what my blueprint and where I want the organization to go, not only on the ice but off the ice. And I said it's not going to be a matter of waiting the 5 years to get to where we need to be. It's more so just a timely matter, because I want to be around here. We want to build something that people want to be a part of, players want to be a part of, billets want to be a part of, sponsors want to be a part of, and then maintain that. Not just a one and done. A lot of people reflect back on the RBC year of that 1 year, and with what comes with hosting the RBC. But I want this to be an organization where people want to be a part of it for many years, and there's stability there, not only for the players coming in, but the ones that we're recruiting too, to know the path and know the plan that's to go into it.
And as for what's next, I know you still have plenty of season to go, but looking into next season, what are kind of the main things that you're looking at for, as you mentioned, bringing in change and making this team almost kind of different kind of identity almost?
Well, it started with the trade deadline. I think, being at the rink there, it was a lot of noise. That's how it got worded to me. It was a big move, and that's what had to be done, and that was the first piece to the puzzle here of making that was to make it. Multiple moves in many different directions, many different leagues, and we'll see the return on that moving forward into the summer. But the other piece is the recruiting and the identity that we go into that. We brought back a local player. We brought back another Alberta player to have that community connection within not only our Lloydminster but our province of Alberta, partially Saskatchewan too here as well. So, and then moving forward is the players that we recruit. The biggest thing, and when I look for a player, when our staff that's out there right now working around the clock to find players, we want great people. And that's where it starts with. They can be, you can have hockey players that can do wonderful things, but they don't have the character that we're looking for. They don't have the community involvement that we need to be a part of, and that kind of stuff. So for us, we need great people. Then we're going to look to the hockey side of it. We want guys that play tough, know how to get out of problems, work through it, have adversity in their battles of growing up and going through hockey, and made them a better person again. I go back to that. And then guys that are willing and able and capable to grow. And then they have dreams and aspirations to be an NCAA player, or to move on to the pro level or get to the next level. And they're hungry to get there, and we're going to be here to help them.
So let's talk about you a little more. Played in the AJHL growing up for you, and then you went down to the States to play NCAA hockey. What was that experience like for you, and especially coming back to the AJHL and kind of some of the stuff that you learned there?
Well, I think the biggest thing, and actually, I don't talk a whole lot about what I did as a player or what happened to our guys, because you get into that, and I didn't play pro. I didn't, and I'm well aware of that. And for me, I was able to play in the Alberta Junior Hockey League. I won a championship in the league, won the Doyle Cup, and then we ended up finishing second in the nation to Humboldt that year. So the experience of being on the winning side and knowing what it gets to knowing what it takes to get there is huge from that angle, and just the once you get into the playoffs and what it becomes, right, your hockey every day, and what it takes to be that championship at that level, I think is a good part of it. When I went down south, I went into a program that was struggling, and we were able to go in. We were ranked 32nd and came out on top by the time we were done. and what the effort and the work that has to go through it, and the days that you look at it, and you sit back and you reflect on the overall of it and the experience of it, and to be able to do that. And then I think the other big part that's helped me along the way is, I coached in the Minot Minotauros in North American Hockey League, and that was an organization that was very similar when I got there to this one. And I knew what it took to, from rebuilding the bathroom on the team bus to getting out and doing the sponsors. It was an overhaul on all fronts. And when I left there to come back to the Alberta Junior Hockey League, we'd finished second in the division and made it to the league, the division final. Those were things that happened there. So a big part of it was just being, I don't know if you want to say it as being at the bottom to begin with all the time, but not afraid of the work that it's going to take to get things and the hurdles that you're going to have to overcome and be creative in some of them. So those experiences have built me as a person, built me as a coach, and I think built me more so as a leader too, to where I am today.
Perfect. We want to thank Nigel for coming in today, and congratulations on the new contract as well. We'll have more Primetime local news coming up.
Joining me today is Michelle Myers talking about what to do if you got engaged over the holiday season. Seems to be a popular time to get engaged every year.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, between mid-November and mid-February, 60% of all engagements happen. And that's like a regular statistic that happens year after year.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So pretty much between then and Valentine's Day, and your Instagram feed is covered in people getting engaged. So when you do get engaged, where should you start? It's a big thing to plan. So what is the number one thing you should start doing?
Absolutely. I think the number one thing people should start doing is making that guest list. You can cut the guest list, you can add to the guest list, but you really have to start with a foundation of how many people you want at your wedding, who you want at your wedding, in order to create your budget, which would be the next step kind of thing, or even first if you're working with a really strict budget.
Awesome. And so when you do come into your budget, so what are some things that you should really kind of invest in for your big day, and what are some of the things you can save your money on?
I think that people should choose their investment based on what they find valuable about a wedding. Some people are going to spend a lot of their money on photography, which of course is great too, because it's a long-term investment that way. Other people are foodies and they love food and they want a great meal for their guests, and they may spend money there. So there's not like a specific item that I would say spend your money on or don't spend your money on. Certainly if you're not specific about location or don't care as much about that, look for a cheaper venue, different costs that way, as well as decor is a big one. If you're willing to do the work yourself, obviously it can cost you a lot less.
Yeah. And so once you've established your budget and your guest list, where's kind of the next place you should go?
I would look for a venue. Of course, amongst all of this, I haven't said, but choose a date.
Yes,
but look for your venue. So that would be the next thing. Venues are things that will book up the fastest. So you want to make sure that you lock that down.
Yeah. And so for someone who is looking to get married, and is it beneficial for them to hire someone like yourself, like an event planner, to really detail? Because how hard is it to plan this all on your own?
It depends how extravagant the wedding is and what the bride or groom's interests are. A lot of people don't like planning, and that's where I come in and do it for you. You get to have a great day, be stress-free, and not worry about it. And then other times brides want to do all that work, and that's fine.
Yeah.
To each their own. I personally suggest weekend of coordination packages for anybody, and not just me as an event planner, but for anybody. And that's only because you don't have to stress about it the weekend of. You get to really go and enjoy your wedding and not worry if those detail things are taken care of.
Yeah. And we were just kind of talking off camera. Weddings aren't just for Saturdays anymore. You're saying it's kind of trendier, or it's becoming a trend to get married on other days of the week.
Yeah, so people are finding it easier to book in with a shorter time period, as well as less expensive to get married on Fridays and Sundays.
Yeah.
Even midweek weddings are becoming a thing.
Wow.
So it just depends where you are. A bigger center, it is definitely cheaper to get married on a different day than Saturday. Lloydminster, not as much, just because we don't have as much competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing all those tips if you got engaged over the holidays, or maybe you're about to get engaged, as it seems to be the time. So thank you so much. And if for anyone looking for your services, where can they contact you?
Absolutely. Check out Eastern Merlot on Facebook, or type it in on Google and you'll find me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Michelle, for joining us today, talking about